Right now, Quintez Cephas and his lawyers are making a final plea to UW-Madison to allow him to return to school and to the football team.
And toxic blue-green algae is causing concerns for dog owners around the country. A Madison man shares his warning.
Plus, Dodge County law enforcement with a reminder about watching for warning signs after a bomb threat at a Jehovah's Witness place of worship.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 6.
Quintez Cephas and his legal team are making what they call their final plea to UW-Madison to reinstate him after the former Badger football wide receiver was found not guilty of sexual assault charges.
He'd been suspended from the team and expelled from the university following those allegations. Madeline O'Neill is live downtown tonight with the latest on Quintez Cephas' efforts to return to Camp Randall. Maddie?
Eric and Charlotte, a big question after all of this is why does Cephas want to return to UW-Madison in the first place? Well, he and his former teammates are making it clear that as Badgers, they consider themselves a family here, and Cephas just wants to come home. Not long ago, this lobby was full of Cephas' supporters, including his former teammates, calling on UW to make a speedy decision to let Cephas back in before the semester starts in just a few weeks. Cephas' legal team sent in a petition for readmission last Tuesday. Several Badger football players sent a letter to the chancellor today asking for their former teammates' reinstatement, saying it could, quote, alleviate a racial tension felt by students. Cephas' attorney, Stephen Meyer, echoed that as well, asking the university to reject the stereotype that black men are sexually aggressive. It's a stereotype he says permeated this case. Meyer says the university's lack of decision sends a clear message that his client isn't wanted there this semester, but Cephas says he's not upset at UW.
We expect a prompt correction of the wrong that has been committed against this young man. How much more damage has to be done to him? Come on.
I am not angry at all. The whole time I've had the support of my brothers and everybody who knew me.
This is not rocket science.
While Cephas' attorneys say they've sent all the information the university needs to make a decision, including hundreds of pages of court documents, UW says they're still obtaining court records and are still reviewing Cephas' petition. In a statement, UW says we are working to gather this information and will complete our review of this petition as quickly as possible once we have it. Now, Cephas' legal team is worried that that process could take a couple months, which of course would be too late for him to start this semester. UW also sent out a reminder that its code of student ethics is different from criminal law, something they keep in mind when reviewing any petition like this. UW-Madison officials declined an on-camera interview today. Charlotte and Eric.
Obviously a big story. We'll keep an eye on that story. Maddie O'Neill, live downtown. Maddie, thank you. And the trial is underway for the man accused of driving under the influence of prescription drugs and crashing his semi into a school bus filled with middle schoolers. 42-year-old Wayne Murphy faces 10 felony charges for that May 2018 crash that injured 20 people. It happened on the interstate in Columbia County while the school bus was pulled over for a mechanical issue. Murphy told investigators he took medication for anxiety, but authorities said he may have taken double the prescribed dose and found empty pill bottles inside his truck. Today in court, the lead crash reconstructionist testified about video evidence from cameras on board that bus.
Approximately 1 minute prior to the crash event, you can see the bus pulling over to the right-hand shoulder. It's interesting within the video channels, if you look in the lower right-hand corner, you'll see a couple letters flashing. RTLT. That's an indication that the vehicle's emergency flashers were on, right turn, left turn.
Murphy pleaded not guilty in September. Students on the bus were headed to the Wisconsin Dells to celebrate their 8th grade graduation. One of the 3 people charged in the October 2018 beating death of Dalton Ziegler will spend 6 years in prison, 4 years extended supervision. Drew Luber pleaded guilty to felony murder in May and was sentenced today in Dane County Court. According to a criminal complaint, Michaela Tracy asked Luber and Jacob Johnson to come to Ziegler's home outside Lodi after she suspected he was cheating on her. That's when police say Luber and Johnson beat him and left him to die. Johnson was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Tracy is scheduled for trial in January.
To weather now, we are monitoring scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. Let's check your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
But Charlotte, so far we've had just light rain across southern Wisconsin. Thunderstorms will probably develop over the next couple of hours to our south and west across parts of eastern Iowa, where the atmosphere is becoming more unstable. But the cloud cover here in southern Wisconsin that's been persistent through the day is keeping our temperatures down. You can see the showers across southern Wisconsin, not seeing any flashes of lightning yet, but eventually we'll start to see a few thunderstorms develop. Temperatures right now are in the middle 70s here in southern Wisconsin. It's actually a few degrees warmer to the north. Fond du Lac is 80 right now because they've had some sunshine. But dew point temperatures are in the upper 60s to the lower 70s. It's very humid out there. We'll probably see some areas of fog for overnight. Otherwise, look for showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms overnight. And then for tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, the high temperature of 78. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
A local dog owner is warning others to keep their pets out of unsafe water after his dog nearly died from a quick swim.
Gabriella Becerra shares more about blue-green algae and the harm it can cause to our animals.
A local dog owner had to rush his pet to the hospital only hours after he swam in this lagoon. He said he didn't know if his dog was going to survive.
They literally saved his life that night. They said that he would not have made it to the next morning.
Christopher Chelly rushed his dog Larry to the hospital upon seeing extreme symptoms.
He got out of his chair and he seemed like he was drunk or having a seizure. And it was one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Larry swam in a lagoon in Tenney Park just the day before.
He really wasn't in there very long, but just long enough to take, to drink a little bit of water.
Chelly said his symptoms matched one of the types of bacteria that can attack the liver, leading himself and the vet to believe cyanobacteria could be in the water.
That toxin can cause skin irritation, itching. If they get it ingested, it can cause them to have a reaction internally. It can cause liver damage.
Microbiologist Jennifer Braun says because of their size, the effects of blue-green algae can be more significant to dogs.
They don't know better. They don't see that and know to stay out. So they might drink the water, it gets on their fur, then they lick their fur.
Clean Lakes Alliance says the safest thing to do is to stay out of unclean water.
If you see anything that has that sort of paint-like blue, green, white, swirly, it's best just to keep your dog out of it.
Chelly collected samples of the water for the public health department to test for cyanobacteria toxins.
I hope that we can find out if this is really bad enough water that it can kill a dog in one night.
Chelly said there were no signs that prohibited swimming in this area. He says he now just wants to spread awareness about what happened to his dog so that others don't have to go through it as well.
Gabriella Becerra reporting. According to Public Health, Madison-Dane County's website, Maple Bluff Beach Park, Marshall, Spring Harbor, and Warner Beach, they're all closed right now due to that blue-green algae.
In the Milwaukee area, officials have identified a body found off the Lake Michigan shore as a missing 19-year-old swimmer. The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office identified that body as that of Aaron Polnitz of Brookfield. He was swimming near Warnemont Park Beach in Cudahy a week ago and never came up from the water. His body was spotted by people who were biking yesterday.
The Dodge County Sheriff's Office is referring bomb scare charges for the minor who they say confessed to threatening to blow up a congregation.
Authorities across the country are investigating threats following mass shootings in other states. Rose Schmidt is here to share law enforcement's message for you. Rose?
Charlotte, a Dodge County lieutenant says false threats can be a waste of their resources, but they investigate every threat and take it seriously. So if you see something out of the ordinary or get a threat yourself, you should always call 911. Yesterday around 9:30 a.m., elders at the Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in the town of Beaver Dam received threats threatening to blow up a meeting there. Deputies evacuated the building but did not find any bombs. Lieutenant Lowe says the suspect was looking to disrupt or cancel the Kingdom Hall meeting for the day. And the threats were not hate crimes that were religious or ethnic in nature. But he says there can be a number of different motivations for sending threats.
Sometimes it's for attention, sometimes it's to create some panic, some fear. Other times it can be just because they're looking for things to do that are going to disrupt things. So hopefully we don't see many more of these, but we do investigate them. We do take them seriously, even if we believe nobody's in imminent danger.
Local authorities also recommend making sure you're always aware of your surroundings and call them if you start to notice something unusual in your neighborhood, at work, or at your place of worship. The suspect in this case is a minor, so the Dodge County Sheriff's Office is not disclosing that person's identity. The office is referring charges in the county where that suspect lives, which is a nearby county here in the state of Wisconsin.
Rose, thank you. More
local news now. Governor Tony Evers is urging President Trump to end his trade wars with international partners, including China, because they're hurting Wisconsin farmers. The governor sent President Trump a letter today that says Wisconsin farmers are suffering what he says is a triple whammy of trade uncertainty, low commodity prices, and bad weather. He says government aid payments are not enough, and that instead we should invest in programs that help farmers access global markets.
UW-Madison has announced when its new music performance venue will open. The Hamel Music Center has been under construction on Lake Street and University Avenue since February of 2017. It'll officially open the weekend of October 25th. The center will provide dedicated practice and performance space for large ensembles like varsity band, concert band, and symphony orchestra for the first time in the music school's history. The Hamel Center also features cutting-edge acoustic technology designed to prepare students to perform at high professional standards. Next at 6, a Madison woman is the next Miss Black USA. Up next, we'll share why she was selected to receive the national honor and the community support that helped her get there.
And there's more local news ahead. A 2014 hit-and-run suspect is in Rock County Court for the first time after recently being found in New York. The person he hit suffered a traumatic brain injury. We'll hear from the victim tonight on News 3 now at 10. A Madison native now holds the Miss Black USA crown. 25-year-old Takima Ballantyne won the competition in Washington, D.C. last night.
Back here at home, she's being celebrated for her strength and dedication, especially to the health industry. Our Amanda Quintana is here with that story.
Takima is still in Washington, D.C., posting on Facebook this morning that the journey to this moment was unbelievable, thanking the people of Madison and those across the state that made it possible.
This is the oldest pageant in the country for young women of color, and to see somebody from our city and from our state hold that national title should be very, very encouraging to all young girls in this community.
Madison's own Takima Ballantyne is this year's Miss Black USA. The road to this title wasn't easy or cheap, but she didn't do it on her own.
She drove there on her own. She didn't fly. She raised the money for gas. She was willing to sleep in her car to participate. She didn't have the money to purchase her dresses, and she asked the community to step up and to help. So we were glad at Boys and Girls Clubs to be one of many people that was willing to support her along this journey.
Small donations from around the state got her to this stage, but more importantly, made the Madison College student a role model.
Working in our community, getting a degree in nursing, as well as, getting this national attention and all that it takes to prepare for that. So we're beaming with pride.
Now with a platform to share her passion, to educate and empower young people on their own health care, something she's been doing in Madison for almost a decade, becoming a teen educator at just 16.
As a teen, she was the expert teaching doctors, nurses, others on the front lines of healthcare on how to provide the best adolescent healthcare possible.
She's still working to bridge the communication gap between adolescents and providers, advising the current class of teen educators and working to win her next title, nurse.
I'm just so excited to know that Takima will be in a place to inspire so many more people, especially young women of color.
Takima will be driving back to Madison from Washington, D.C. I'm told Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway is planning a way to celebrate her big win and her return home. So we will see how they welcome her back.
Oh, we'll be there for that one.
Oh, yeah.
Amanda, thank you.
Coming up, gymnast Simone Biles making history again. Melissa Kim has more on this stunt. The 5-time Olympic medalist landed to earn a new record. It's coming away a little later in sports.
And a few scattered showers in the forecast tonight. Gary shares how long they'll be sticking around in your first alert forecast.
Well, so far we've had some showers, but not anything in the way of thunderstorms across southern Wisconsin. The computer models the last couple of days were indicating the potential for a heavier rain event across southern Wisconsin, but that looks like it's shifting farther to the south, and even a wider perspective doesn't even show any thunderstorm activity across Iowa or Illinois. Now, there's an area of low pressure that's going to move eastward. We'll probably see thunderstorms start to develop pretty rapidly over the next couple of hours over eastern Iowa, but those will track more to northern Illinois. A few of those could clip southern Wisconsin. The Storm Prediction Center still still is hanging on to a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms south of about a Monroe to Janesville line, but the slight and enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms where there could be a little more widespread wind damage potential and maybe even a couple of isolated tornadoes is down toward the Quad Cities in northwestern Illinois and down into central Illinois and Indiana. Now tomorrow there's a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms north and west of Madison. What we may see happen if some thunderstorms bubble up in the late afternoon hours, there might be enough instability to cause some heavy downpours along with some brief wind gusts and some hail, but that severe weather threat will end pretty quickly tomorrow evening. The heavier rainfall threat, again, farther to the south across parts of northern Illinois where the heavier thunderstorms will track. Some storms tomorrow afternoon and Wednesday could bring a couple of inches of rain over parts of northern Wisconsin, but hopefully that will keep southern Wisconsin kind of in between and away from the heavier rain threat. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville looks pretty gloomy there as rain showers continue over southwestern Wisconsin. WISC Skycam looking off toward the west, kind of cloudy and gray, just a few showers around here. The Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing mostly cloudy skies and some off and on showers. High today 76 degrees, low temperature 61, and right now our temperature is 74 degrees with cloudy skies at the airport. Notice that dew point temperature 68 degrees. Been outside, it seems pretty humid, and that will be the case at least overnight. Temperatures right now are actually a couple degrees warmer in the northern part of the state than they are here in southern Wisconsin because they have had some sunshine there, but there's no really warm air to speak of around here. The dew point temperatures, though, are in the upper 60s and lower 70s, and so as temperatures cool off only a few degrees, we'll get some areas of fog to form overnight. These showers and thunderstorms are on the northern edge of a hot air dome that it continues down to the south and west. Triple-digit heat today over parts of Kansas into parts of Oklahoma and Texas. There's a cold front that's starting to move into that area, but even so, temperature is out ahead of that cold front in the mid to upper 90s. There were a few places that hit the 100-degree mark. Notice our part of the Midwest, much cooler, but again, the dew point temperatures are still pretty high here, and until we can sweep out some of that moisture, there'll be a threat for some showers and thunderstorms. So for tonight, cloudy skies. We'll see some areas of fog form overnight, and there'll be some showers and a few thunderstorms, low at 64. For tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 78 degrees, similar to today, maybe a couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up, especially later in the afternoon. Future track, the highest risk of rain will be down toward the Illinois state line overnight. Low temperatures mid-60s with some areas of fog. Tomorrow we'll see some showers and storms pop up in the afternoon. Those should die down pretty quickly tomorrow evening. And then on Wednesday, more cloud cover will keep temperatures in the low 70s, and there'll be a few scattered showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. Rainfall amounts should be relatively minimal here unless you get caught underneath a heavier thunderstorm. Otherwise, 7 to 10 day forecast. Temperatures warm up for the weekend and stay warm for most of next week.
Well, the Badgers defense getting its footing slowly but surely. We've got the deets from Jim Leonard. That's next in sports.
Wisconsin.
Well, the wait continues for the Badger football team on whether former wide receiver Quintez Cephas will rejoin the squad. Cephas and his lawyers wanted an answer by last Thursday. They didn't get it, so today they made what they're calling their final plea to the university. Several Wisconsin players, including Jonathan Taylor, Chris Orr, Scott Nelson, and Tyler Biadish, joining Cephas to show their support for their former teammate, saying this is about more than just football.
This is all about Quintez and the man he is, the person he is, you know, wanting to clear his name and wanting him to have the same opportunity, you know, that we have now. But it has nothing to do with either him being a Wisconsin Badger again or him playing football again. It's just about who he is. You know, we love him as a brother, you know, truly, and that carries off the field as well.
The whole time I've had the support of my brothers and everybody who knew me, and I've had a chance to you know, show my real character outside of sports.
Now, the University of Wisconsin did send us a statement in response to today's plea, saying in part, the information provided today by Cephas's attorney is false and that no decision has been made on Cephas's future at the University of Wisconsin at this time. Meanwhile, an early morning for the rest of the team, head coach Paul Chryst keeping the guys out there for almost 3 hours of practice today, or 11 practices into fall camp. And defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard likes the progress his guys have made so far. Don't get him wrong, though, they're not in week 1 shape just yet. But the younger players have definitely made strides in understanding the defensive schemes.
I see that with a number of young players who I think at times last year were just playing and playing plays and not really thinking about situations. So anytime you get youth and you gain some experience, you have to find a way to turn that into confidence. If you can't turn it into confidence, you're still just in the same spot. And I see a lot of guys playing with a little bit different edge.
The Packers with a day off, but signing a fullback to the team today, Tommy Bohannon, who played for the Jets and Jaguars. Meanwhile, former Wisconsin All-American, current All-Pro Cowboy center Travis Frederick missed all of last season with an illness that attacked his nervous system. He didn't know if he'd play again ever. Now, the Beard Master returned to the field this preseason, and it looked like he's back to the player that started every game in his first 5 seasons. Frederick said he wasn't quite sure what he felt last year at this time, but he doesn't feel it anymore.
I know that I wasn't feeling normal, and I know that I was struggling, you know, in camp, and I was probably a little less sure of myself, confidence-wise, coming into the game last year. You know, I was wondering if I'd lost a step or what was going on. I felt confident, I felt good, I felt ready to go, and that was a marked improvement.
In case you missed it, Simone Biles defying gravity and any other kind of science, performing a triple twist double somersault in her floor exercise routine at the U.S. Championships in Kansas City yesterday. No one has ever done this combo move before, and it surprised no one. She won the overall gold medal. I mean, I've seen this a million times in the last, 12 hours. It's amazing. It truly is so incredible how high she gets.
She has incredible power.
Oh, yeah.
She is unbelievable.
Solid. Yeah, so good.
Unbelievable athlete. All right, Gary, final check.
Nothing imminent right now, just a few showers out there, but we'll keep an eye out for the possibility for some showers and thunderstorms tonight.
All right, and thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.